Ever since the release of Red Dead Online, this game has had an extremely rough time. It might be because the story was absolutely amazing, and with that being released a month before Online, players may have came off the back of that expecting so much more with Online. But unfortunately, Red Dead Online just has not lived up to its potential. So in this video, I'm going to be going through a list of a few things that is the reason why I think Red Dead Online isn't doing as well as it could very well be doing. Some of this stuff does come down to Rockstar themselves, and other things are completely out of their control. If you agree or disagree with anything I say in this video, then let me know in the comment section down below. Before I do get into the video, I am streaming over on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I'm replaying through the Red Dead Redemption 2 story, and when I'm not doing that and I am playing online, I'm posseing up with viewers to help them try and get money and gold. If that is something you are interested in, then there is a link to that in the description down below. But getting back to the video, this is a list of 13 reasons why Red Dead Online is dying. The first reason is because of the many bugs that are in the game. I understand that no matter what the game is, whether it's newly released or something that's quite old and is getting new updates, there will always be bugs within the game. There's simply things that Rockstar cannot test. There's things that will happen in a studio with a couple hundred people being QA testers that would simply just not play out until it reaches thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of players. And I don't blame Rockstar for there being a few issues within the game. My concern is with how long it takes them to fix it. We are approaching a 1-year anniversary of the camp spawn problem and also the animal spawn problem. The camp spawn problem has actually been part of the game since the release, but not many players have noticed it because not everyone had to ask for their camp to be spawned in. It wasn't until the summer update which brought the trader role, which involved you having to have your camp present for you to actually participate within this role. That is when players started to notice this issue. And those are two of the biggest problems that a lot of players talk about. We then fast forward all the way to December, which brought us the Moonshine update, and that update also brought us quite a few problems. And those problems still have not been fixed to this day. The second thing on my list is a lack of communication from Rockstar. We understand that things don't always go to plan. If you have the intention of trying to fix one of the bugs that I've just mentioned, then let us know. A good example of this when Rockstar actually did it was back in January, February and March time, when they did finally acknowledge the animal spawn problem. It was nice to see them actually communicating with the fan base, telling us that they understand that there's a problem in place and that they are trying to fix it. But that was the only time Rockstar ever mentioned that, and they haven't done anything since. And the animal spawn problem that they said they were trying to fix didn't get resolved. But I credit them for the communication at that point. We just need a lot more of it. At number 3, and probably the most obvious, is the lack of content for the game. I don't think I need to go into this that deep because I think we've all experienced it. But a lot of players believe that Online was released way too early. In the early stages of Online, we had to go through what was the foundation. That was Rockstar implementing player blips, and those were our content updates. And that is just a little change to when you can see other players on your minimap. We didn't get our first proper content update until May 14th of 2019, and that still was building a foundation. We got a few more main missions which did not last too long. We got the implementation of daily challenges, a few weapons and a few showdown series. And those only lasted a couple days until players started to feel bored. It wasn't until the summer update when we really started to get nice content updates. And we've only had one since then. And that was a couple months later, which was the Moonshine update in December. And now we're at the point where we're currently at. So it just goes to show that not too much has actually changed. At number 4, I have the content that does come out is incredibly easy to finish. I know some of you guys that have been following the channel for quite some time will know that I prepare for the next update. So rightfully, I should be able to complete it fairly quickly. But for me, this doesn't really affect me. I'm not too bothered about this type of issue because I will be able to complete the update fairly quickly, but I can spend weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months and months of doing videos based on me completing that content. And that keeps me occupied. But even for a player that doesn't prepare for the next update, they can get through these roles very easy. They're not hard. For the collector role, you can easily do that within a day. Trader and Moonshiner may be slightly harder, and then Bounty Hunter is somewhere in between. And the only reason that the Trader and Moonshiner are slightly harder to get XP and rank up is just because of the issues that are in the game that are preventing you from playing those roles. But other than that, those roles should be done very easily. And as things currently go, it's taken months and months for Rockstar to bring them out, only for players to complete them within a matter of days, even as a player that doesn't put that much time into the game. At number 5, I have put no replayability for current content within the game. The first trader delivery you do is similar to every other trader delivery after that. For the Moonshiner, the first delivery that you do is very similar to every other delivery that you do after that. For the Bounty Hunter, the first ever bounty that you do is very similar to every other bounty you do after that. And for the Collector, every single collectible you pick up is pretty much the same, except you get more money, more XP. There is nothing you have to do differently as you progress through these roles. It stays the same, except now you need to get more of them. And because you need to do that, now you get a bigger reward. There's nothing different about what we currently have within the game. It's always you doing a very similar thing over and over again. At number 6, and this is completely out of Rockstar's control, but it definitely has had an effect, as it has had an effect on the whole world, and that is the pandemic. And that said, Rockstar can't do anything about this. They can't prepare for it and they can't avoid it. It's just something that we all have to go through. So this isn't me crapping on Rockstar because of a pandemic. This is just something that we all have to deal with, and I think this is also the reason why it has taken Rockstar 6 months to bring out an update. I don't believe that this is Rockstar being lazy. What I do believe is Rockstar have the intention of bringing out this update at this point if we weren't in a pandemic, but because we're in a pandemic, unfortunately they're not able to work in their studios, which means they can't do things like motion capture or audio recording to do voiceovers. And because we all know Rockstar and how they always want to be the best of the best, I don't believe that they want to release an update half-assed. So this is one of those things that is completely out of Rockstar's control, but it definitely has an effect because it's had an effect on the whole world. And number 7, going back to things that Rockstar do have control over, is no weekly updates that benefit high-level players. Most of the time with weekly updates, it's there to provide benefits to new players and low-level players by providing additional XP for certain roles, XP that high-level players just don't get because they're already max rank at rank 20. This has irritated a lot of high-level players and has made them feel rejected by Rockstar, and in return they have ended up leaving this game. At number 8, I have put Rockstar falling behind the cost of content update. Players will always have more than enough to buy everything as soon as an update drops. And this goes back to the vicious cycle of Rockstar potentially releasing online way before it should have. Because we didn't get any major content updates that you had to buy into until nearly a year of Red Dead Online being out, it meant in that time for a lot of players that did see the potential of this game and did stick with it, ended up grinding out a lot of money. So that as soon as that new update did drop, which was the summer update, and all you needed was 15 gold bars to buy into 3 different roles and also an outlaw pass, it meant a lot of players were able to buy that up instantly for gold. As soon as they got into the roles, they were able to buy everything. And those roles were also very profitable. We were now able to make more money in those roles than any other time before in the game. So because players were able to buy into everything straight away and complete them very easy, it then meant you had to go back to doing a money grind. Except this time you're now able to make more money than ever. So it led a lot of players making tens, maybe even pushing to $100,000 all the way up until the Moonshine update. As soon as the Moonshine update came out, it was very easy for you to buy into it again, and you had more money than what you had previously, so you could buy everything again. Now we're in a situation where we've had 6 months of going through all 4 of these roles, generating more and more money each time, more and more gold as players do more and more daily challenges. Now we're in a position of having anywhere between 50 going all the way up to 100k, maybe even a lot higher than that, is the norm. So if the next update doesn't exceed that amount, you're then looking at a very similar situation where the update just gets bought into very quickly, you buy everything, and then you're back into a money grind the following next day preparing for that very next major update. It is a vicious cycle. At number 9, I have something relatively positive, and that is Rockstar Games is going through a change. On the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, Dan Houser did talk about 100-hour weeks, and that sent a lot of media sites going outraged saying that employees have to work these hours. That is not right. We then had an article a couple months back talking about this situation and how 18 months after this, how Rockstar have adapted to it. And now they're taking a much closer look at their employees' health. And for that, that's a good thing. But that also means that they're not putting as much stress on Rockstar employees to get things done. It's more about their health and safety rather than releasing products and games. And because of that, as a result, it means that employees aren't doing as much work. But I think this is more of a good thing as they're focusing more on employees' health. But this has also led to them talking about GTA 6 and how it's not going to be as big as any other GTA, and that it will be future DLC that makes the map bigger. So this is a positive, but definitely has an effect on the amount of content that Rockstar will be pushing out. At number 10, I have put nothing to aim towards after rank 100, maxing out all roles at rank 20, and completing Outlaw Pass. As soon as that's done, that is when a lot of players will end up stop playing the game and just wait until the next update. The other side of that is some players will stick on, and that's like players like me, but they have their own motivations. So my motivation is to carry on playing to prepare for that next update. And I went through getting 140 collector sets, getting $100,000, pushing for 500 gold bars, and now I've set up a situation where I'm going back to RDR2 story and I'm going to be pushing for 100% on there, and as soon as that's done I'm going to be going back into online and then pushing for $200,000 and probably 750 gold bars. So that's me being personally motivated and nothing to do with the game of there being anything else to aim towards, because everything has been done. And number 11, I've put there's no reason to buy gold. And this is also even having gold, because there's nothing to actually buy. You buy into the roles, you buy into the Outlaw Pass. After that, there's nothing else to go through. And this also links into what I was talking about earlier with the vicious cycle of always having more than enough to buy everything that you want to buy with the next update. I would love for there to be a solid gold wagon, which costs like 100 gold bars. I would fully buy that. That would give me something to aim towards of if I don't have 100 gold bars, I'm grinding up to 100 gold bars to buy that. Or maybe the other side, which is I'm going to buy gold bars to buy that item. But there is none of that in this game, and that is an incredible shame. I see an argument as well of why Rockstar doesn't focus on Red Dead because it doesn't make as much money as GTA. And that could very well be a perfectly reasonable argument. And if that is the case, Rockstar, please add some items that can be bought with gold, some cool items. There are some horses, but I want something massive, something absolutely amazing where you have to have gold bars and it could be a completely ridiculous price. Or it could be a tier thing where you can get like different types of stylized wagons, which are the exact same wagons that are already within the game, just as different aesthetics, different skins. And you could do it with so many other things, or weapons, or horse coats, or anything like that, and I would happily buy it. But as of right now, there's no reason to put any money into Red Dead Online to buy any gold so you can buy awesome items, because those awesome items just don't exist. And number 12, I've put there's no way to let players be creative by using photography mode in online, by using a Rockstar editor or Rockstar Creator. It has been speculated that the very next major Red Dead Online role is a photography role. And for a lot of players that's a good thing, but I think this could have been added so much sooner, and not as a role but just as a tool that players can use. Virtual photography is a massive thing, and personally I've only just started getting into it by replaying Red Dead Redemption 2 story. You can use a handheld camera, but it's not quite the same, and you don't get the depth that you have with a photography mode like what you have in the Red Dead Redemption 2 story. And it will also be a shame for the players that want to be creative from the get-go, have to actually work towards the point of where they have to earn the photography role before they can start capturing the moments that they have to experience whilst going through this game. I think that would be an incredible shame, but I also feel like the lack of a Rockstar editor and a Rockstar Creator where you can create your own videos as you play online, as well as you can also create your own showdown series and your own races, is an incredible shame. On a daily basis with a Rockstar editor and Rockstar Creator, we can see people doing funny videos, experiencing very funny things as they're playing this game, and other players creating these absolutely chaos-filled races or showdown series or parkour maps or whatever, which would also be extremely funny just to have a group of friends and play with. All of those can go hand in hand. You're in a Rockstar Creator and you want to take a photo of you and your friends, or maybe record a video of you and your friends. There are so many different creative ways in which this game could be absolutely amazing with these features added, but unfortunately that's not the case, and unfortunately those moments just do not exist. And finally at number 13, and it's probably a link to all of the other reasons above, but we've lost a lot of good content creators. And the reasons that they have left could be anything from the previous reasons that I've listed above. But we've lost so many good YouTubers that used to make videos on this game, but because of the lack of content or the lack of something or them not enjoying the game or the problems that they have to go through, it could be anything, that has resulted in them moving on to other games. And it is honestly a shame to see those YouTubers leave, because they are very good YouTubers and definitely provided a service to this community. And because they're not playing those games anymore and they're playing other games, it's got their fan base looking at them thinking, I'm going to play a similar game to that person. Or I'm not going to play this game anymore because that person has done a video saying that they finished with this game. And I don't blame the YouTubers for that. This does come down to this game, because this game did motivate them to start doing videos in the first place, but it also led them to not do videos at the end. And I do genuinely believe that that is a shame. But anyway guys, that is 13 reasons why Red Dead Online is dying. I'm curious of whether or not you agree or disagree with anything that I've put in this list, so let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to see any more content from me, I am streaming every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. If you do want to be a part of that, there is a link in the description down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going, so see ya.